But even through the worst of it, resilience and solidarity stand out as people come together to help those who are suffering so much. One group, the United Cajun Navy, is a group of volunteers helping in physical and spiritual ways. Joining us now is Brian Trascher, Vice President of the United Cajun Navy. Brian, thank you so much for joining us. Now, can you give me a sense of the damage that you're seeing?
It's catastrophic. It really is heartbreaking. It reminds me a lot of Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina, where you had the high-speed hydrokinetic flood waves flowing down hilly terrain and into valleys, where it took out structures, property, and unfortunately over 100 lives so far.
And you're there on the bank of the Guadalupe River. Obviously, that's one of the central places where you saw great devastation. What have your interactions been like with the people of Texas?
Well, you know, as far as the agencies and the Joint Command that's working, they've been really top notch. A lot of places that we go, we end up there because the response is inadequate. That's not so in this case. We're just force multipliers. Texas is doing a great job of coordinating with Department of Homeland Security to do these search and rescues, and we're just helping out. It really is. You know, I'll give you an example. I was at a restaurant last night that had a very large dining room, pretty full of people, but you could really only hear silverware and plates clinking. People weren't really talking. You know, so I think the entire community is heartbroken. It's a very somber scene here.
Are you seeing any signs of encouragement from the community of rebuilding efforts, even though they're still in the middle of search and rescue?
You know, everybody I've talked to when it comes to rebuilding, that's just sort of like a foregone conclusion. They're not even upset that they have to rebuild. They're more upset about the dozens of little girls who were at the camps, and of course, more than that of just people from the general population or people who were adults who were camping in RVs and other places that were just woken up to rushing floodwaters in the middle of the night, never really had a chance.
And of the things that you're doing, what would you say are the most essential parts of what you're adding to the relief efforts?
Well, I have we brought our chaplain with us, and he's got decades of experience in bereavement counseling for trauma victims, and he also brought another counselor that specializes in counseling first responders. You know, when you have events like this where there's children involved, you see a real spike in the suicide rate amongst first responders. So we're trying to have all those bases covered and have not just the search and rescue aspect of this operation, but the spiritual aspect to make sure that people, the victims and their families, the community at large, and then of course my team stays spiritually grounded.
Well, we'll be praying for your efforts, Brian. We know that they're really important. Thank you for all that you're doing. Brian Trascher, Vice President of the United Cajun Navy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.